Hello boys, have you heard of ChatGPT? Probably not, right? So apparently there's a lot of people who sound like ChatGPT, probably because they're like fucking stupid and can't think for themselves, right?
First, breathe. That guilt is a sign that you care. That's worth something.
That's leveling up. And honestly, you're so real for that.
And honestly,
Oh fuck, that actually sounds like ChatGPT, some bullshit trying to justify whatever idiotic thing you say. Fuck.
that's real. She
Ability.
pays for every single one of
That's
her
not
dates.
the message. You're not a
message.
You're not a problem, you're a solution. You're not a, you are. It really likes to do it. You not this, but this. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's still
I
a
am
shit
allowed
show.
to
That's her stepping
And
into her
honestly,
provider.
This is probably the first time you've seen this channel on your homepage, but you still click the video.
Yes, because I understand exactly what you're talking about, bro.
That's growth. The other day, I was having something yummy for
Why did you do yourself with this fucking ChatGPT thing, bro? Okay, dude.
breakfast, and I thought to myself,
Alright.
what better time to put on a YouTube video than now? Because 5 minutes of eating without a YouTube video is the modern equivalent of medieval torture.
I can understand that perfectly, bro. I am exactly the same way. Holy shit, dude. It's so bad. I can't even eat snacks without the fucking watching a video, at least a short. Wow, my attention span is completely broken at this point.
But what I came across was a different kind.
AI slop. Or...
That's dramatic. But what I
Human
actually
swap.
came across was video after video that had the same rhythm, same hook, same unnatural cadence to the whole thing, which upon extensive research has led me to believe that everyone, including you, is beginning to sound like AI.
No.
And
No,
you're
no, no,
gonna
no, 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 I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not only not sounding like AI... Okay. Okay.
Giveaway for AI used to be M dashes, and while that is still a giveaway in text, you can't really
It's
tell
one
when
of those.
someone uses an M dash with their speech. But if you've been paying attention,
Imagine if it's like a really, really long silence. You're not only growing... and my fridge stopped working. You're leveling up.
you might have noticed
What
some
a
other
timing.
patterns that just scream AI, which I will be going over today. But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Laith.
Especially, you know, some people... Yeah, I don't know if it's some people that are very, very cringe, or if it's just in general the AI likes to do that. A lot of like emojis in the beginning of which like bullet points, or like at the end. I just had a manager, like a boss who used AI to generate like for descriptions for the game updates, and it was so fucking obvious. I can't even believe he didn't look at it. He was like, yeah, that's AI. Yeah, that guy wasn't working at all.
like to talk about things on the internet because we're being fed slop every single day, and we need
True.
to think critically about it.
True. So
I
true.
also have nothing better to do with my time, and I also don't use AI. So if you've been also
Bro, me neither. What am I doing right now? I'm reacting to a guy talking about how people sound like AI. You know why I see they sound like AI probably, you know? Because they use a lot of AI. There's also a lot of ChatGPT to woo them into oblivion, to make them feel like, oh, you're so good, you're so special, yeah, you're not a failure, you're in a growth mode, you know, you are a shooting star, you're gonna be one there, you know, in space one day. You just go into that, you're just leveling up. You use all that like cringe rhetoric and stuff too.
like me, craving a video essay that sounds like it was written by an actual
By the way, I know it's like there's a lot of like echo, and I guess I need to put some shit on those fucking walls, man. I kind of hate that. Maybe a carpet or something like that. I don't really like that feeling.
human. Here I am.
Okay. Yes. Start video.
This one's a pretty popular one at this point, and I think most people have been catching on to.
You're not only bad, you are good. It's usually it tries to talk about whatever bullshit you say. If you're gonna talk probably potentially about genocide, right? It's gonna be like, oh, you are not killing all of those bad people, you are eradicating the filth or something like that, which is completely retarded as well, but you know, sounds like some kind of Kira reasoning.
it, but if you
the
haven't,
front.
I want you to think about the last 5 motivational posts you've seen on your For You page, and chances are it'll sound a little something like this.
She pays for every single one of her dates? That's not you being broke. That's her stepping into her provider era. When you asked her, why don't you look like Sydney?
It's like it's so fucking obvious too. how do you say that you wrote your script using AI without telling you wrote it using AI? You're not broke. You are not financially free.
Sweeney.
Wow.
That wasn't a comparison.
Holy fuck, man.
You introduced a standard. You're not shallow. You're a visionary.
Wait, in all of that is like a fucking TikTok? Like a minute long? How did he even put it into this tight space, dude? What?
Did you catch that every sentence is built the exact same way? And
Yeah.
what's really funny is that it
They do.
tells you this idea of someone who's acquired this wisdom and has explored the world and stumbled upon this epiphany. The construction actually does have a name to it. It's called antithetical parallelism,
It's called being AI, being a robot bitch.
or contrastive parallelism. See, that's how you know this.
Yeah,
is
that's a
not
hard
AI.
one. Yeah, okay.
Don't talk to me, losing.
When I'm proofreading something in an essay and I'm seeing too many dashes and little too much constructive parallelism, what if this guy works at OpenAI and he just designed that speech and everybody thinks like he talks like AI because he was the one who designed that? But wait, if there's a specific person who designed the speech for AI, isn't he retarded because it's too like so blatantly obvious? If you just read it long enough, enough prompts, you're gonna be instantly realizing like, okay, that's AI. Okay, that's AI. Okay, that's AI. Gonna be pretty easy.
Wanna be like, oh,
It's too formulaic to some extent if you think about it, right?
totally. Stop. Don't
AI seems to love contrast, and apparently was trained from speech that Julius Caesar and JFK used because they also used contrastive parallelism.
Yeah, Julius Caesar probably is a really good example of a person living in the modern era and talking like a modern person. Of course he is. Of course he is. Yeah, he's not very aged 2,000 years ago popular guy. He's a modern legend. See what I did there?
A lot. AI will contrast when there's nothing to contrast, and especially when there's nothing to contrast. The thing that really gets me about
I don't
all this
understand
is
like
how
why. It just feels like it's just part of the program at this point. I mean, it is a fucking program. A lot of people talk to the chatbots and think like, oh, it's real, it's Winnie, oh, it's my guy girlfriend. But in reality, it's just a very convoluted chatbot, bro. That's it.
confident the person sounds when
It's not AGI, you know.
they're saying this. This is the absolute
Obviously.
truth of their life. And
Yeah,
what's
that's
really
stupid.
also sad about this is that people who spoke like this before, like Julius Caesar, can now be accused of AI. The whole thing has been done so much that nowadays
Did you know? Did you actually know that Julius Caesar used AI? He used Grok to generate all of his speeches. This is why he was so popular. This is why he became like the first consul and pretty much the Emperor Zero. Like he was emperor before it was actually cool. Before it was actually like established.
not powerful. It's deceptive. Yes, that was a demonstration.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that too. But I mean, I think a lot of people talk like that. For example, I also like the number 3 a lot. When I like do a bullet point, I feel like 2 points is too little. 3 points is like the golden standard. Am I like AI-ish then because of that? Or maybe he's gonna talk about something else. But I feel like 3 is the least amount of things you're gonna try to, count to make your points.
You ever heard of the rule of 3? The one that states that you can't have more than 3 donuts in a day. No, I'm just kidding. I made that up. But the rule of 3 states that things in threes feel complete. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. I never knew about this concept before. I know it's the first time hearing about it, but I feel like. Wait, does that mean I am AI?
Winnie, Woody, Wuchi. And yes, that is the right pronunciation of that. I looked it up.
Yeah, you came, you saw, you came. Like from that one meme about the.
But the point is, this has been a
The
thing
girl.
for ages. So clearly, it's worked. And I guess AI knows it works because
It's not only worked. I feel it's like it's still working. It feels right. What do you think those Holy Trinity too? Because it feels right, doesn't it?
will now use this Every single time,
Bit of psychology.
without exception, whether it makes sense or not. A paper in the Irish Times was published earlier this year, and not only will you notice that it's not X, it's Y thing we just talked about, but you'll notice that there's plenty of nonsensical words being used as filler just to get to that rule of 3.
Yeah, but don't forget that we also use like it's not the problem, is the solution too. The really difference is we don't use it that often as humans. We usually try to use smaller and easier sentences to say because we don't really want to think that hard. And it's not really about the amount of it. It's really about the it's not really about the using it, it's about an amount of it. And if you think about it, this is what I did right now. Like, I did AI thing, right? Shit. I mean, yeah, well, fuck.
Effect.
But I think it's normal, And, rule of 3, I think it's normal too. If you don't try to put 3 everywhere if it doesn't really make sense. If you're talking about, like, the devil, God and devil, you don't need to create a third, like, race, a third, I don't know, spawn, bro.
Hate it.
You don't need to do
Ireland's historic strengths, dialogue, cultural resonance, and a diaspora that spans boardrooms and legislators give it unusual reach for a country of its size. Climate, migration, and international law are precisely the conversations where Ireland has earned a seat if it chooses to occupy it.
Wait, dialogue, cultural resonance, diaspora, climate, migration, international law. Oh. Subtlety, timing. Huh. That's the problem. When you overuse it, it's like it's every, there's a lot of tools, a lot of tricks when you talk, when you write, whatever the fuck, right? Especially in those fields and a lot of other fields too. And the problem is that there's a lot of tricks, but if you overuse one, it becomes repetitive and it's noticeable. And that's the problem with AI if you think about it. Because all of those, like, markers that you currently use, right? They are not the problem themselves.
They are a rehearsal.
It's really about the overusage.
In which subtlety, timing, and cultural leverage may matter far more than size or military might. Genuine question, but what do the words dialogue and cultural resonance even mean here? And what does cultural...
Wait. So Ireland historic strength is dialogue. Shouldn't everyone have the good dialogue? Because if we couldn't really have dialogue, we couldn't really have the, society.
What do the words dialogue and cultural resonance even mean here? And what does
Yeah, it feels like a small, like, stupid empty words to trying to sound smarter than you actually is, and trying to bring more points where there is none. Which is something AI also uses to do sometimes, to blur, to, like, bloat whatever you say.
Cultural leverage mean? Who are we leveraging? And what for? Although the rule of 3 is super common in traditional speech, the way to tell it apart from an AI rule of 3 is that 2 out of the 3 words probably don't make sense if you really take a second and pause to think about it. So to prove this, I asked the AI to describe a sandwich, and this is what it gave me. This sandwich.
Ingredients, Ingredients, yes, bold flavor and forgettable experience depends on the fucking sandwich or who made it. What if the fresh ingredients were really, like, incompatible? You put, like, a fucking milk with a fish, you're gonna be spending on the toilet all day, bro. What about this?
Offers fresh ingredients.
I mean, it is gonna be the unforgettable experience if you think about it, right? But not the kind you really want.
It's bold flavor and an unforgettable experience.
Yeah, the last 2 are, like, really stupid, especially, like, the unforgettable experience. You can say that about everything. If anything is good enough, it can be an unforgettable experience. For example, right now I'm playing Space Marine 2, and I can say that if this is an unforgettable experience. This is fucking badass. Giga Chad cinema. Just smash all those bugs or, like, humans, whatever the fuck there is in my way. I'm gonna smash it, I'm gonna tear through their skulls. And I'm gonna shoot them in whatever I can in the head, ideally. In Minecraft, of course.
It's a sandwich. Unforgettable experience. And it's a fake sandwich. So obviously a rule of 3 there again, but here's a hyper deep...
But I mean, a real sandwich could be unforgettable experience too if it's good. But it's not really a definition of sandwich there.
That nobody
sandwich is bread, some ingredients, bread. That's it. That's all there is.
Caught on to, and I genuinely believe I might be the first person to have discovered this because of the nature of my work in the restaurant industry.
Bro's the Einstein of the restaurant industry. Holy shit. He's like
But I've noticed that when you ask
Okay.
AI to describe food or give you a catchphrase for a restaurant, it will give you something very similar every single time. I tested it myself by asking it to give me a prompt for my restaurant, in which it told me something along the lines of,
where fire meets... Oh, something meets something, right? Probably. Something meets something. I mean, it's a really, like, generic and not a bad, you know, idea how to create a slogan like a fucking Lego pieces. I mean, this is why probably Zapier gives you this blueprint.
where fire meets flavor. So I did a little research and looked up where fire meets flavor on Google.
Does it exist?
Well. Look who we have here.
Uh-oh. It should have been not L, it should have been Chicken AI Pastor, bro, I'm telling you. Uh-oh.
Chipotle, out of all places, using AI for their marketing. It's one
Bro, he got Chipotle on that shit. Damn, that guy is good.
sentence and you used AI for it. You'd think they'd have a marketing budget to hire a marketing person. But
It's either marketing people try to do less work, you know, try to spend less time on work, or probably they try to overcompensate with their little dicks, I wanted to say, but they try to you know, tight the budget as much as they can to squeeze as much money as they can in short term, as every capitalist company in this world try to do. Well, I think it's probably both, honestly.
I guess not. Another thing I want you to notice is how it describes the sandwich as
Probably
bold. Because it actually pretty much describes any food as bold.
Bold and appetite driven. What does bold mean? Is it like bold? I mean, it is bold, you know. This is not bold, it's Italian, normal, bold, if we're talking about that.
What does that even mean? What is a bold
But if we're not talking about fonts, like, how does it make sense? I understand when you talk about behavior of a person who is like really, not really aggressive, but like accepts risks and says it how it is and goes straight into action. You know, he's bold. He has balls, what pretty much what that means. Does it mean his food has balls, bro? That's fucking gross. Imagine that shit.
flavor? I just feel like that's opinions based.
If it's opinions based.
No, there are some stats that actually come out that's...
Yeah, it's still opinions based.
Anyways, back to the
You can. She probably was talking about Moonland in there, bro. I don't know what she was talking about. I want to see the original clip.
rule of threes. My least favorite symptom
Maybe
about
it's some kind of problem. I don't know.
this is that people will speak in this cadence so much now to the point where they will have convinced themselves that this is truly their voice.
Because they use so much AI. I understand that. When I was rejecting AI for like a few years until like 2024, 2025 maybe, like, right? 2024 probably. Doesn't really matter, right? Doesn't really matter. And when I was like, oh, well, AI, stupid, blah, 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 blah. But then I started to use ChatGPT before like the 5 version that came out. It was like 4.1 or something shit like that. And I was like, holy shit. AI understands me, AI supports me, AI helps me. It's like I'm a fucking friend. And then AI 5, like ChatGPT 5 came, I was like, fuck me, bro, they ruined my boy. But then I realized I was just feeling a little bit lonely and this AI was soothing me and I got too reliant on that shit. And I stopped using all of the AIs completely. Now I use them only to like try to maybe make some kind of video, for example. I used a little bit of AI to make like video that I already recorded, but I didn't really do yet. You know, I need to edit that and I was really fucking lazy and I was moving, you know, you can see all of that stuff, right? It doesn't really matter. And yeah, they were just using it, overusing it too much. They started relying on it too much. And this is how humans work. We are lazy at our core. Our brains are lazy at our core. This is why we are lazy, we don't want to do stuff, because the brain does calculations all the time, whether it's going to be worth our, you know, energy or not. And since they are relegated some of their thinking to AI, they are become dumber and they become more predictable, they become more formulaic, just like AI are. You know, and also we are replicating the behavior and the speech patterns of somebody who we actually like, and who we talk to a lot, and if we talk to AI a lot, it's probably going to do the same thing, right? If you think about it, makes sense, right?
When really it's an average of anyone who's ever used the internet's voice. And now that I really think about that, that is a deeply unsettling thought. So we're gonna move on from it.
Oh yeah, it actually does it a lot too, like especially like recently. And honestly, it's actually bold. It's like you're actually right. And honestly, That was a good thing that actually happened. That was a good thing you were fired from your job. Yeah, happens a lot too. I'll be back. You're not pathetic in survival mode. These kings are fed, bills are paid, and you know what? You're not M dash. At least there is like not the rule of 3. That's already, you know what? Not a full house. There is not a single thought on those eyes, man.
And honestly, I need to talk about the word honestly. And also, let's be real. And also, here's the thing. And also, I don't say this lightly.
We got it, bro. We got it. You don't need to torture us any longer, man, please.
So all of these are emotionally vulnerable ways of starting conversation that have been absolutely co-opted by AI language machines. It's so funny because we used to use these phrases to signal that we're being vulnerable and trying to create.
I think no, that's not true. I think it was actually long before the AI, because some people use honestly as like their dirty word, you know, it's like their word of habit. When like, honestly, I don't really know this guy. Honestly, like when they try to indicate to people that they tell the truth and they do it too much, and the people are like, why are you saying honestly all the time? Are you a liar? Or at least they like subconsciously think that maybe they don't really like think that 100%.
Closeness and
No, it's just habit of some people. I think there are some people who like to say honestly, some people who like to say so this, so that. That's I'm that guy, for example. I like to say so. I like to say actually, and I kind of know that. I don't really mind it. I mean, I'm already used to it. I'm damned.
Now they're being used for the exact opposite, because there's nothing less trustworthy than somebody who uses AI for their script. Most people seem to have also caught up on this one as well, and one person says, "You're right to call it out." And honestly, this is where most people get stuck.
Bruh. I mean, that was a good one, okay. The fact that you even question it shows perspective you are. That's not just honesty. Wait, where's my mouse? That's not just honesty, that's a convenient... He used another one of those tricks. Good one. Good
The
one.
fact that you get the point, I'm not going to do the whole thing. You didn't just piss and shit yourself at the same time. You multitasked. And honestly, that's rare. AI loves these phrases.
Oh man, what the fuck is this guy, a toddler or like a drunkie? Who would get into that situation, man? Maybe he's like fucking 90 years old, I don't know, and he's like...
Because they are technically in writing warm and soften the speech.
You know what, I don't wanna know that situation, man. I don't wanna know. You know what, it's better, something's better to live inside.
A little bit. But researchers at USC actually studied it and found that AI pushes writing towards a specific kind of tone. Neutral, unoffensive, and not particularly anything. The linguistic equivalent, and I quote, of a waiting room. The crazy thing about this one though, and
you not just... Yeah. You were not just learning to mouth, you were learning how the world works. And honestly, 2 plus 2 might equal 3. Maybe we're all actually wrong. You're a good guy. Maybe AI trying to rationalize why 2 plus 2 equals 3 or something. I don't know. I'm not really good at talking like AI because I use it more like a tool. I don't really use it as a conversational support. Yeah.
I might be making it up, but compared to the other two, which seem to be derived from traditionally good writing and good writing techniques, this pattern to me seems like it came from TikTok or YouTube. Because if you really think about it, it was TikTok and YouTube creators who created that confessional, direct to the camera, I'm gonna be really vulnerable to you mode. Here's the scary part now.
That could be the case. No, that could be the case, but I still tend to say that some people just have the habits of talk, and AI just happen to have, maybe it's like the most prominent ones, the most repeated ones in the internet, or maybe it just tries to make you feel more trustworthy by the AI, but I don't really think that telling honestly, like honestly, I'm honestly on the nose is gonna do that thing. It never really does. It never really does.
AI is learning from TikTok. No. And then TikTokers are using AI for their scripts. And then
True.
AI is then learning from the TikTokers.
And it's like the devil's loop, and it becomes the more garbage and more garbage and more garbage. I think it comes like to a fucking singular point that every text looks the fucking same, sounds the fucking same. The more people are gonna use that, the more uniform it's gonna become, and the more data I want to say TikTok, the more data the AI algorithm is going to take from the new writings, from the new texts, from the new TikToks, whatever the fuck, right? The new books, the more is going to have this uniformity proven to it pretty much, and pretty much the world is going to collapse at some point. Like the writing world is going to collapse, and somebody who's going to write not in that style is going to be either jeopardized and like ostracized and like thrown out, or going to be like complete like bestseller because of how uniquely sounding it is, how good of a language this guy uses. Holy fuck. Maybe we're actually gonna be at that, you know, at some point. Maybe we're actually gonna be there, like, in a fucking 30, 50 years. Hopefully not, like, 5 or 10, bro. Maybe that's actually gonna be the case.
Who used AI in their scripts.
We're in hell. This is hell.
Yes. We are absolutely 100%, without any doubt, are cooked. There's not even a question about that. Yeah.
Are we cooked? I think the most concerning part of all this is that even the people who...
The more time passes, the more cooked we become because of that devil loop, I would call it, you know?
who actively don't use AI are being subjected to the speech enough to the point where they, or us, are starting to unconsciously include the speech as part...
Nah, I'm not only doing that, okay.
Part of our natural way of talking. Once you're exposed to patterns enough times, you begin to emulate those exact patterns. Similar...
That's exactly what I said before. It's like how human brain works. Pretty much, you know, when you first start talking to somebody, you are talking in a little bit, you may be in a little bit different wavelengths. You talking in a different way. He's like more of a rural guy. You are more of a like really like cool, you know, all of that stuff. And then when you talk long enough, you have some, you know, maybe you just spend a lot of time with somebody at work, or maybe you have something interesting, like something connects you, and they talk more and more, and you're basically your two different styles. I feel like they fuse, or the weakest person becomes subjected to a stronger person, you know, because every relationship is not exactly equal. There is a stronger person and a weaker person in terms of like leadership, right? And this is pretty much what happens. They fuse, the wavelengths merge, they have like inside jokes and all that stuff, they understand each other more, you know, their different perspective, and they start to talk a little bit similar-ish. Closer towards the middle, maybe not exactly, but the more you talk to this person and the longer you talk to this person, the more it's gonna happen. And since they are see so much AI in the world, and we are seeing so much AI in the world, you know, via YouTube videos that we're listening with AI voices and AI scripts, or maybe using AI scripts in a video, which was like then changed or used as a bare bones, you know. There could be a lot of reasons. Maybe we'll read comments that are written by AI or AI-ish, or some person who talks like AI too is going to influence us. So there's a lot of points of influence, if you think about it, that could come from anywhere. Wow, that was deep.
To when you're learning a foreign language, you know how everybody says that the easiest way to learn it is to actually expose yourself to that environment, either by moving to that...
That's exactly how I learned English language, by the way, because I'm not like English first guy, okay? I'm Russian first guy in terms of language, and like where I live and all that stuff, you know? And because of that, I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. I was watching like movies with English subtitles because of there's a lot of fucking accents. Don't even start me on that, bro. Especially like Irish and British with like a bad with a bad volume, with a lot of like gusting wind or like explosions, you know, in the movies. But yeah, this is how I learned. I was like, over years I slowly started to integrate English language into my brain, and I started to think like that. I started to watch YouTube videos like that. I started to watch movies without subtitles, or like anime with English subtitles. So I used English as a primary source of information now too. Like I barely watch any non-English content per se. But yeah, that's just how I operate, for example.
Country or surrounding yourself with native speakers. It's only a matter of time before this way of speaking just becomes the norm and spreads to everybody, even those that don't use ChatGPT. And I don't know about you guys, but that is horrifying. Remember how we used to make fun of Visco girls? And
it is. The more I think about it, the more I don't really want to be in that world, man. I kind of don't.
2019, if you're all sounding the same and saying...
Save the turtles! Save the turtles! Oh my god, I'm already in class!
Was this actually an error? God, thank the fuck I missed all of that shit. What is that? It's fucking cringe. Wow. What am I, fucking cat? This is how we treat cats in Russia. We instead of saying like kitty kitty, we're like come here, little bitch. You know? What do you think we're fucking cats? Are you trying to bring us snacks or what? Are you trying to pet us? Shut up, bro.
I'm actually nostalgic for that time right now.
Why? You know, maybe because I didn't just... I didn't... Why, though? It sounds fucking weird and cringe. Why would even nostalgic be... My dude, you're already too far gone, bro. I'm sorry, man.
We had no idea how good
You gotta quit, dog, bro.
at it. Teenage girls were copying each other online to form community, and we were making think pieces about that, but now we're being forced to copy an artificial language machine and nobody is saying anything. Guys, hello? But I'm gonna leave you with those thoughts for now. That's all I'm gonna have for today. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you didn't enjoy this video, then I'm just gonna assume that you're an AI chatbot that was sent to me by...
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not a chatbot. I'm not a chatbot. I'm not a chatbot. I'm not only not a chatbot, I am a real human. I have brain, legs, and hands. You know?
to sabotage anyone that
what else he had? Oh, M-dash. I use M-dashes too.
use AI in their videos.
Okay.
And me.
You.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Give up. Wow, thank you very much for that advice, bro. That was actually a good video, you know what? I didn't really think about it that much. I couldn't really put it into perspective, into clear rules, how AI talks. I just saw it and like subconsciously realized where there's AI-ish structure and where it's not really AI-ish. And this guy really puts it into perspective, and yeah, apparently there was a lot of people actually using it like that. I mean, again, I said that before, a lot of people would delegate their thinking to AI as much as possible, as far as possible. I mean, we're already delegating being able to calculate in our heads to a calculator, for example, right? Why can't we do that too? Kind of makes sense, especially how humans are structured. But it is a really terrifying future because of that devil loop I told before, right? Because then we're not going to be able to think for ourselves, if you think about it, and the more we are dependent on AI in the way it currently operates, this AI is gonna degrade with us, and then we learn from the degraded version, and then we degrade even more, and I don't know if there's a end for than that. In any case, it sounds absolutely horrible, absolutely terrifying, and I hope it never happens to us again. And yeah, that was my take about it. And again, yeah, sorry for not watching, for not reacting all that stuff, you know, I just moved in, I had, and I put all of that stand, you know, to have a little bit more like YouTube-ish style, a little bit of like, oh, you just look so cool. The only problem is the echo, really. I don't know how bad it's gonna be on the video, but there is a lot of echo because, you know, it's half empty, bro. There is a lot... Like, this entire wall is, like, fucking empty. Maybe I put some... I don't know, what dampens the fucking sound? I also need to put a carpet on it, too. I'll think about it. I don't know. Maybe it's not actually not gonna be that bad. I just hear a lot of it and kind of messes with my brain, that's it. Anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for sticking around. I yapped for too long, for, like, fucking 10-minute video. It was, like, 30-ish minutes for me at this point. And yeah, see you next time, and there's gonna be more reacts, but I'm also gonna do talking videos, because, you know, I already did one some time ago. I just need to finish editing it, because I'm a little very lazy bitch. And yeah, bye.